Eva helped one woman overcome her lifelong fear of birds. We'll be finding out as they open the doors to our new house of phobias.
And take action before it's too late. Martin Lewis is here with different ways you can claim back hundreds of pounds before the end of the tax year.
He'll also be staying on for the phone-in today, so what sort of course can you take, Martin?
Well, the big urgent things I'll be talking about for the tax year include the marriage tax allowance. Some of that will be disappearing. Same with reclaiming PPI tax, stamp prices going up, and you can beat that. But also, obviously, we've got coronavirus going on, huge impact on travel and many other areas of life. Stock markets are down hugely today, so if you've got questions or concerns about that, do get in touch and I'll do my best to help.
Thank you. Give us a call free on 08000 30 40 44 or download even our free This Morning app and click Get Involved. Making sure you leave a contact number and please get in touch by 11:15 today. You must be 18 or over. Before that, 7 weeks ago, Alan and Wendy Steele boarded the Diamond Princess cruise ship for what they thought would be an incredible honeymoon around Asia.
Well, their holiday turned into a bit of a horror story after the cruise was hit with coronavirus and Alan tested positive for the disease.
But after a scary hospital stay and weeks in quarantine, the couple are finally back in the UK with the all clear and joining us now to tell their story. And welcome to both of you. God, what a time you have had. So this was meant to be the perfect honeymoon, the holiday of a lifetime. You flew to Japan on the 17th of January, you boarded the ship on the 20th. Luckily, and this is kind of the good bit, you managed to have the bulk of your holiday with no problems whatsoever. So up until that point, it was great.
Yeah.
And you'd never been on a cruise before, and it was everything you hoped it was going to be and more.
Yeah, like I said, it's a holiday of a lifetime. Did we realise at that time it was going to be the holiday of a lifetime?
Before, what were you packing? What sort of stuff were you taking?
Oh, everything. I'm a girl. I love my dresses.
Yeah.
So we got 6 big luggage. We paid the extra. We've never done it before, so we thought,
You wanted the whole
dress up
experience.
every night, for dinner, that kind of thing.
And so the cruise had been what you'd hoped it would be?
Oh gosh, and more. It was. We met some fantastic people from different countries, didn't we?
Yeah.
And who are going to be lifelong friends now. Who, not before. We'll say when we met them before on the cruise, and then afterwards.
And so, at what point did you hear rumours that something was going on?
Basically, when we were around that Taiwan area, we were visiting Taiwan. Because at that point, they were checking us temperatures coming off the boat. As far as I'm aware, really, we should have been quarantined in Taiwan, but it didn't happen for some reason.
That didn't happen. Well, on the 3rd of February, the ship did go into quarantine, finally. And the beginning situation is, obviously, it goes into quarantine. It's a bit scary. What you need at that time is information. And there wasn't an awful lot of information coming through to you.
No, everything we learned was off the internet.
Right.
You're going on the social media and girls and that. We were learning more off that. The ship wasn't telling us anything because they weren't allowed to, because the Japanese government just weren't.
Yeah, I was
And so a lot of these ships are actually at the beck and call of whatever port authority or government that happens to be at the time.
Well, once the ship docked, they come under the Japanese authority. Then the captain lost total control. Then obviously, some at that point you see the ship and he's the captain. Forever. Once he docked, that was it. He was under their control.
So part of the system in place there was that anybody with anything underlying or any health conditions, that they would be swabbed as a precautionary measure. So Alan, you've got chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, so you were swabbed. When were you told?
That day
Has he?
come and swabbed us.
Must have been.
So
why is he still smoking?
And the results came
Oh,
back
no.
and said that you had tested positive.
Yes.
So at that moment, everything happens very quickly.
Yeah, it does.
You're on the ship, and then within 30 minutes, you pack very quickly, and you're off. Were you feeling okay? You didn't feel anything at all.
I felt fit to fiddle.
Yeah. So you're in an ambulance.
Yeah.
You're rushed off to hospital, and you put in isolation there. You said you felt a bit like a leper.
When they treated it like leper, because it's a virus that nobody obviously wanted everything else and that, but they were all in ASCAM suits and everything else. Yeah.
How did you feel seeing him go?
It was hard, but I understood why they wouldn't take me. But I demanded that they would actually swab me right there, right then, because we've been in close, once you got the results in half an hour back and whatever. So I wanted to be swabbed right there, and they didn't. So I did I did stamp my little pony feet a little bit, because it just made sense, because if I tested positive as well, then we could be in the same Japanese hospital together.
together at least.
So,
And so you're sitting there not really knowing what's going on. It's
Uh,
all a bit frightening. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're meant to be on honeymoon and now
Yeah.
you're alone.
You're in the middle of
First
nowhere.
few nights, obviously a bit sleepless, just the worry and the fear. But then actually this sense of community on board
Yeah.
scooped you up and got you through those.
yeah,
hard
I had to
days.
put my big girl pants on, nail in Bridget James's, get them up, and with the people on board, I had an ear infection. I was 85% deaf as well, so I couldn't hear the door knocking if there was food outside, because that's what the staff had to do, just leave the food outside.
Right.
And yeah, so I had to have my mobile and the cabin phone. So yeah.
So when you were in hospital, you're retested and you had a number of tests. So what was the results of those tests?
The first test, there was slight confusion because they come back and I said to them, am I negative? And they all nodded and I thought, oh, I'm okay. Then they did the second test and they come back and they said, that was negative. So I thought, they told me if I get 2 negatives, I'm
You
clear,
can
I can go. So I said, okay, I can go now. And they said, no, the first test was positive. So I thought, well, perhaps just like communication, because obviously the language barrier and all that. So I thought, okay, well, now I've got a negative. So they did a third test, and that come back positive again. So I said to the doctor, how can you get a negative and then a positive? And he said, there must be an error in the test, negative test. I said, well, couldn't there be an error in the positive test? And he just looked at me blank and said, you've got to wait now 48 hours before you start retesting again. And I said, no, that's wrong. I said, because I've had a negative positive, I want to test again now. We had a bit of a squabble.
Yeah.
Also, I kicked the doctor out of my room. I had a bit of a paddy bed. They come back half an hour later after I calmed down and said, okay, you can have the test. This was they gave me the test the Saturday, the Sunday and the Monday. But they never actually come back and told me the results of those tests until Thursday. They come back and said they were all negative and you can go.
So then eventually you were off the ship, to cut a long story short, and, and you're off the ship. You finally managed to meet up. You finally managed to get back to the UK together, and then you're back in quarantine again.
Yep.
For how long?
No, just fold it in half.
Another 2 weeks in quarantine.
Yeah.
Were you tested in quarantine?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You had 3 tests, 3 negatives. Yeah.
you never had it, did you?
I don't feel I did anything else than that because I didn't have no symptoms when they just told me I got it.
Yeah.
But I've never had no symptoms of it, so.
So I guess the situation is now you come away from that, the NHS, clean bill of health, off you go. How's the reaction been to you? Because people know who you are, because, we've spoken to you, and do people worry about that you might still be carrying something?
Also, we haven't had that much interaction with other people. The driver that we had from Arrow Park, who took us back home, he was lovely, and he actually was quite clued up on the situation.
Yeah.
And he was asking about the same kind of reaction, whether, how people are treating us. But to be honest, we've only seen like little parts of the family, and coming down here, and we had the driver.
But one of our friends who left at 10:30, so we did. Their taxi driver actually drove away.
Drove off and left them.
Really?
Yeah.
Which we don't understand, because obviously our driver, when he comes to pick us up, he'd already been told
where he was going.
where he was going, who he was picking up, you know.
Well, I mean, thank goodness you got your honeymoon, the nice bit.
Yeah.
And then
There's some
nightmare
nice
afterwards.
memories
But
there.
now you're back. Now you're okay, and thankfully you're both health-wise. You're both okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
we're very lucky.
Thank you. Thank you. Right, still Martin Lewis is here with an important warning ahead of the end of the tax year.
Before that,